Malicious Magda, Part 3. This is the final part of the saga. If you want to see the other parts, you're going to find them in the description below or the pinned comment. Guys, let's see what Magda could possibly be up to now. Magda thinks my art is tacky. Mulling over this memory, I'm mad at myself for just taking it. I always just took it. I wanted to be a good daughter-in-law. My mom's a great mother-in-law and has a close, mutually respectful relationship with her daughter-in-laws. I thought there was something wrong with me because Magda was so terrible. Even when my mother, sisters, and sister-in-laws tried to convince me that it wasn't me, I still thought it was. When dear husband and I met, we hit it off instantly. We closed on our first house 14 months to the day after we met. It was ridiculous. I was madly in love with him, so I wanted to give his parents a piece of my art for their upcoming big anniversary party. A lot of you are arty folks. Giving your handicraft says a lot about how much you care for that person. I painted a 5x7 portrait of them in an English garden setting. My idea of a large formal portrait of Magda and father-in-law in oil paints was very positively received by dear husband and brother-in-laws. They gave me lots of great style input, and over the course of 6 months, I paint the damn thing. I was in constant communication with her interior decorator. I wanted it to be perfect. I bought outrageously expensive pigments and made my own paintings. I bought high-end canvas imported from India. I spent most of my free time working on it, being obsessed with the pre-Raphaelite imagery. I painted a highly detailed, lifelike portrait. This project consumed me. Dear husband encouraged it because it was something that Magda would love. When I show the interior decorator the finished project, he loves it. Brother-in-laws and their wives love it. Everyone's happy. Brother-in-laws and dear husbands pitch in and buy an ornate frame, and it gets hung up in a foyer. I'm a professional artist and was for many years before I met Magda. Painting is my side art, while illustration and graphic design are my main design. I've post-graduation education in fine art and art history. I still do commission for this interior decorator. So, we get together, unveil it to Magda, and she was impressed until the decorator told her I painted it. Her face changed in a flash, asking why they would think this would be an appropriate gift. This painting's tacky and garbage. I get intensely nauseous. I had put my everything into the piece, and she said it looked like a freaking knockoff from a hotel conference room art show. The room starts spinning, and I go outside to the patio to collect myself, but just vomit on the planter. Dear husband's niece storms out of the house with my purse, cursing about disrespect, and tells me to get into the car, 'cause she can't stand this crap anymore. She drove me back to the condo that we were staying in. I'm ugly crying while she's ranting about being in a family of beautiful a-holes. When we get to the condo, I just went to the bed. I had a headache from the intense crying. Dear husband rug swept this so hard. He would not talk about what happened. We distracted ourselves with work projects, and dear husband brought it up to counseling, and all the hurt just came back. He talked about the shame he felt when oldest big kid asked Magda if liked the painting, and he lied and said it got broken on the way. This period of time is when niece went no contact with Magda. She was living on the East Coast. Going to the anniversary party was her last-ditch effort to have a relationship with Magda and father-in-law. This niece had it rough because she's an exact physical copy of Magda and did not want to be Magda's clone. They had a huge blow-up after the party. Niece took the painting from Magda and went home to New Jersey. She still has it. I'm glad niece took it instead of Magda just throwing it away. I still consider it the best painting I've ever done. There's no point to this little story. I'm just mad about the painting again. Mini update number 1 month later. Magda sent us an email with several of the Instagrammed photos from the kids' accounts attached. Magda would like to meet her grandchild for 10 minutes while supervised by a third party of my choosing. Magda is the baby's grandmother. It's cruel to deprive her of this relationship. Contact information was provided. I forwarded the letter to our lawyer. Don't stop believing, Magda. Okay, 3 months later. My family hates me because of Magda. I hate myself because of Magda. What happens now? This is my stream of consciousness because I can't talk to people in my real life because they just don't freaking get it. 420 is hard for me. I'm a Californian pothead. The worst day of my life happened to fall on 420. I was in a car accident that killed my fiancée and unborn daughter, 32 weeks old. The guy who hit us did not end up doing any jail time because life is grossly unjust. I'm a ball of emotions right now. If you go through my posting history, you can follow her total meltdown. Even though everyone says I've been a badass, I feel like a spineless coward for letting her microaggress for so long. The PPD struggle is freaking real. I wanted a baby for so long, and when I got pregnant, I was so freaking happy until Magda tried to take over. When I would not let her take over, she flips out and ruins my ducking life. My side of the family's really mad at me because of my psycho, rich-as-duck mother-in-law has turned her harassment to my family members. My parents and siblings are understanding, but extended family, not so much. Me and my family, me, husband, and kids, are not welcomed at a lot of family functions because of what Magda has done. I know she's behind an ICE raid at the body shop my cousin works at. My cousin, his brother-in-law, and a couple other guys were arrested and being held in a detention center. They are undocumented, so they'll be deported. One of his co-workers is from Honduras. He'll likely be murdered when he gets back. My sister is an ICU nurse in a major hospital. A flurry of detailed serious allegations got my sister put on a 6-month administration leave. On the outside, paid leave doesn't sound so bad, but not knowing if you're getting fired the next day without a permanent stain on your career is terrifying. The health department and organized crime sheriff team raided my brother's tattoo shop. They destroyed thousands of dollars of equipment and supplies. One of his employees was detained because he shared a really common name and birth date, and was similar sized to a man wanted for sexually assaulting a toddler. Another cousin's husband got arrested because of a really old bench warrant. The tattoo he was getting when the raid happened got infected with MRSA when he was in jail, and he almost died. She donates to Xenophobic and thinks in my name. Many different family members has CPS visits and visit by cops who deal with organized crime. It really hurts to be frozen out. I can understand why my psycho mother-in-law has torn families apart and has sentenced a man to death. I don't know what to do. I love my family, but I really miss my departed fiancé. His mom is a nice person who's a great mother-in-law to her daughter-in-laws. She brought me a pan of enchiladas after I had my baby last year. My oldest son's girlfriend just bought him a bottle of Dior, a savage. She wanted him to wear grown man cologne instead of Axe. I wanted to collapse in a pile of sadness because I bought it for the departed fiancé. It was his everyday scent. Catching that whiff of his cologne unexpectedly hit me with the overwhelming sadness. I don't know if I can deal with him wearing that cologne, but I also feel bad telling him not to wear it. His girlfriend worked hard to earn that money to buy him expensive cologne. I don't want my kids to have to deal with baggage that doesn't belong to them. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me ramble. Well, guys, it's been 5 long months, but here's the next update. Oh, that's pretty much it. Magda died. She died in the most Magda way possible. She drowned in her bathtub because she was drunk on pills. Gosh, dang it. Husband told me her favorite thing to do when he was a kid was to have a temper tantrum, then hole her up in the bathroom for hours just popping pills and smoking cigarettes and drinking cheap champagne. She would cry while cursing father-in-law and throw things against that domestic staff. This happened a couple times per month. We were informed this morning, and it's nice to live in the country now. Husband was on a long hike around the property because he wanted to be alone. He looked offended when I chuckled nervously when he said, "I need to be alone, but not suicidal." The brother-in-laws want to have a family meeting, and husband refuses. All of the adult grandchildren except the Golden made it clear they would not attend funeral services. They are also collectively no contact with their parents. At this point, all of us lurk here and RBN, so we're all about the mutually loving and respectful family relationships. This is great. Magda is dead, and we're no contact with all the crappy people. Husband's family, outside of his parents and siblings, are nice people, and I enjoy spending time with them. The kids seem unbothered right now. When we broke the news, the first thing out of my oldest was, quote, "Are we going to the funeral?" None of them wanted to go, so there's that. School just started and they're all busy. I shouldn't rejoice for someone dying, but I can't lie, I'm delighted. Final update of the Magda series, 4 months later. The holidays are over, we've gone back to our house in the mountains, things are settling down, we've been home one day when it comes. A full truckload from a 28-foot box truck of Magda's stuff with a 5-page double-sided rambling letter of nonsense. It's her clothes, shoes, jewelry, scarves, gown, everything. Of course, Magda sends me a truckload of clothes that don't fit me. Of course, she rambles for 5 pages of double-sided, single-spaced, tiny font bullcrap. She outlines her continued hate of me, acknowledging I am US-born with a graduate degree and a legitimate art career, and admits that dear husband isn't father-in-law's. Old news, father-in-law told husband in college. The topper is why she left me these clothes. Her daughter-in-laws wanted these clothes, but they did not do enough for Magda in her declining age. She'll leave these clothes to my daughter, because I have an art education and will probably appropriately appreciate all the vintage couture. This provokes a deep revulsion inside of me. She's been dead long enough where her formal headstone's up and she still manages to duck with me. I called up the auction house and they told me the house sold, and they're selling off the stuff from the house. If I did not want the items, they would be happy to sell it off for me for a commission. Magda had a good eye for fashion. The collection she curated is pretty good, which makes me more mad. Duck you, Magda, for spite sending me this truckload of beautiful clothes I can't wear. I have stupid rich people problems. This truckload of fancy clothes has made me crazy angry, frustrated tears. When I try to talk to the normal people, I know they're just dazzled by the glittery material possessions. I'm going to just send this shit back down to LA and let my cousins rummage through it and donate the rest. When I run my hands through my box of silk scarves, the physical sensation of fine silk on my hands is nice. But it smells like Magda. And it's then that nice silk filling on my hand feels tainted and gross. She ruined Chanel No. 5 and Jean Nate forever for me. I swear to goodness, if I end up choking on the baby and the Rosca de Reyes cake tomorrow, I don't know if I'll laugh or cry. I'm going to try and finish my frustration crying now while I'm in my truck at the bottom of the driveway. I use these posts as a vent. When I feel my resolve start to waver, I reread my post and then remember why things are the way they are. I'm just emotionally rambling. You guys have all been emotional support. Thank you for this journey with me. Duck you, Magda. Well, guys, I'll always say I never wish death upon anybody. But Magda... No, I'm just kidding. I still would not wish it. But I could see why OP was not very upset when they found out the noise about Magda being killed. Let me know your thoughts about how she went out, her entire life, how she messed with everyone in the story. Guys, the series has come to an end. That was 3-part series of The Nightmare of Magda. If you guys like these type of stories that have multiple updates that span across days, let me know. It's a lot more work to do these kind of things, but if you guys enjoy it, I'll do it. Drop your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.